When I get a phone call, email or social media message asking me to create something, it's a very exciting time. Today, a new client contacted me about an animation. I'm creating this video to show you what typically happens on day one of a new project. The turnaround on this project needs to be fast, so I thought it would be a good example to show you how things come together. After an initial meeting, perhaps online, I would produce an email, a quote for the client. This means I send information over explaining how much it will cost them. When the client has agreed the price and confirmed the commission, I then help develop a script or brief, which is what I use in the studio to create the initial storyboard. A storyboard is a simple sketch of the animation. Its purpose is to identify what type of visuals I would need to draw. It also helps with planning how the final animation gets put together, like a jigsaw puzzle. It's much easier to do this now rather than to do it later when things become more complicated and it would take much more time to change things. I send off the storyboard to the client. Usually we have a meeting and then they give me the thumbs up to go. I start to create the visual assets which will combine to make the final animation. These could be backgrounds, people, animals, anything really. It depends upon what I'm helping the client to communicate to their audience. I produce most of my animation work on my iPad. This is great because I can export the assets into the animation software directly. It's quick to do, which means I can create things quickly with little disruption, which is how I work best. In this case, I was also asked by the client to use a script to record a voiceover, which will be part of the final animation. And that was day one. Tomorrow, when all the assets are upon the animation software's timeline, I'll work with my partner and we'll manipulate the assets to fade in, fade out, change size, move and rotate in line with the storyboard we created from the script. It's a very creative part of the process. At this point, we add a soundtrack to bed behind the voiceover. We get a real feel for how the work will end up during this stage. When we've placed all the assets, we then render the video and send it over to the client to review. We nearly always get edits at this stage, little things we need to change, maybe timing, spellings, or changes in some sequences. It's all doable, as inside the animation software, everything can be changed individually. And then, when those edits are done, we will render it again and send the client the final version. They can then use that final animation in their presentations, on their websites, or on their social media.